Hi, welcome to another art vlog. I'm working on a new Harry Potter book illustration with egg tempera, a fantastic beast sketch using gouache, markers and ink, and inking one of my characters. This time I'm illustrating another chapter from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Chapter 2. First, I came up with Dobby's design. It's the first time he appears in the series. Here is the drawing of Dobby. And here is the drawing on mixed media paper. I am using egg tempera to paint this one. In the book, Dobby is described as having big round eyes the size of tennis balls and ears like a bat. When I looked up photos of bats for reference, I saw they also had big round eyes, so I referenced both ears and eyes from the bats. Dobby is not a fun character to draw. I think he is just weird looking, but I think I came up with a look that would interest me to paint it. I gave him a big head in the final drawing for the painting. I think he looks cute. At least cuter than my initial design in the sketchbook I showed at the start. In this chapter, there were about 3 scenes that I found interesting. One is when Dobby unintentionally reveals that he's the one who has been stealing Harry's letters. The other one is this one, when he is using magic on the cake. And the other one is when Harry is grounded in his room and he sees Ron Weasley on his window, right at the end of the chapter when he wakes up in the middle of the night. But I went with this scene, where Dobby, trying to get Harry into trouble and making it so he doesn't go back to Hogwarts, takes Aunt Petunia's cake and smashes it on the ground. I went with the moment right before he lets the cake go on the ground. In the book, Harry is on the entrance to the kitchen, but I made him be on the floor just to make it more dramatic. Like if he just ran from the door to stop Dobby. This scene is much more fun than the one I did for the previous chapter, because there's an action that is much more interesting. The previous chapter I just painted Harry sitting in the garden. Doing the cake was fun too. It's a cream cake with violet flowers decoration. And I don't really like Dobby, but I think he came out cute in this painting. I painted the magic lines with purple. I wanted it to look like Dobby was casting magic. I added some stars to it too. Otherwise it would just be blank and a bit strange. Like a cake just floating in the air and Dobby with his arms lifted. With the effects, I hoped to make the magic more obvious. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done with this one. But I just wonder how it would look like if I add some sparkles to the magical lines using my metallic watercolors. Maybe it will give it an extra something. Let's start with the stars. Gonna add some purple now. And here we have the final painting. I'm trying to show the sparkles I added. It's not very obvious, but they are there. And you can see them with the light a bit. I think it came out cute. I am continuing one of my Hogwarts Legacy sketchbooks. I am painting the Phoenix this time. I am using gouache at the moment. It's the watery gouache. I tried to establish the main color first, but I think I may have made him too dark. Like the red is very dark, it's not very vibrant. I also decided to use some markers for adding shadows and covering some of the places that didn't get too covered with the gouache paint. The good thing is that these markers are easier to control, thanks to the tip. It's easier to add shade to the phoenix. I think I only have about 3 fantastic beasts to go, and I would have drawn all of the ones you can get in the game. The remaining pages I'm planning on filling with my favorite ones drawn in different poses or places, and my character too. Once I was done with the markers, I used ink to do the line work, and to add some small details. Here's the finished sketch. I like it, but I think I should have made the wing lighter. It would have helped make it a bit more three-dimensional. This is a character I came up with. I drew her in regular printed paper, and I am inking her traditionally. She's a superhero, so I wanted her to have those fun, ridiculous superhero outfits. She fights crime and she is in Toronto. That's why I went with a raccoon as a symbol. When I used to live in Toronto, they were everywhere in the city. And of course, if you're native from the city or from Canada in general, they see them more like rats over there. They make a lot of problems for the people who live in the city. But I think they are so pretty. I really wish I could have one as a pet. Anyways, I was thinking of calling her Raccoon Girl or Madame Raccoon, but I went with La Raccoon instead. Her real name is Lara. She has super strength, much like a raccoon, because they can literally break the big plastic garbage bins. They will literally shoot through it. She can climb everywhere, she can survive the winter, she has claws of steel, and of course she can communicate with raccoons. That's why I added 2 raccoons as little sidekicks. I haven't come up with an origin story, but she was not bit by a radioactive raccoon. She was not. I'm using my small nib to ink. It's very good for details and small places, but I used it even in places I could have used a bigger nib, mostly because I was afraid of making an inking mistake. Then I decided to use this flattened nib. It's supposed to be for thick lines. I'm just experimenting. I think it wasn't a good idea to use it on her thighs, so I switched to a brush later. However, the brush I used was one of the same I used for my Harry Potter painting, and I guess I didn't clean it properly because it had a lot of sparkles from the metallic painting. I didn't notice it until I dipped it on the ink, and now all the heavy blacks have sparkles on it. It turned out to be one of those happy accidents though, because it looks kinda cute that she now has sparkly boots and gloves, so I think I will add it to her official design. The bad thing is that now the ink pots fill with sparkles. Oh well, I will have to pay more attention when I clean my brushes. I ended up coloring this one digitally too. Here it is. Thanks for watching and have a great day.